Vampire The Masquerade Bloodlines is a 204 action RPG developed by Troika Games and published by Activision. The game follows you, or I guess a vampire, well, a human who gets turned into a vampire and must follow the rules of the masquerade and prove himself in vampire society. Now, I knew this game existed for years, but I recently wanted to play it because of my friend Kevin. He's the pseudo gentleman on YouTube. He told me that he had gotten it and that I should give it a try, that he had been having fun with it, and I thought to myself, well, if you can have fun with this game, then so can I. See, I had been playing Skyrim as a vampire lord for a little bit, and I was thinking to myself, well, this is fun, but I'd like a little bit more of a robust experience as a vampire in a game. Maybe a game that's dedicated to it. And having played through it, I don't think there's any better vampire game than Vampire The Masquerade Bloodlines out there. Story quests are amazing, writing is amazing, the role-playing factor as a vampire is amazing, by the very fact that you can't just openly be a dickhead. You have to just actually think about the consequences of your actions when you're feeding on humans, when you're fighting out in the open. The masquerade aspect of the game is probably one of the funnest aspects for me because you get to actually roleplay what it would be like to be a vampire in the modern day, because in an age where like every cell phone has a camera on it, you got to be careful about what you do, or the general human population is going to become aware of the existence of vampires, and nobody wants that, because we all know what happens when the human race bands together against a common enemy. Well, at least I would hope that we would know. We haven't had that common enemy come up yet, but something tells me that they'd nuke the shit out of them. And with the recent announcement of the Battle Royale game that they're making out of this IP, I had to come on here and talk about why that was a terrible idea. Because, most of the people who got into this IP got into it because of the role-playing and the story. It's a story with multiple endings that a lot of the choices and the things that you say in dialogue end up mattering, which is not something that a lot of RPGs actually bother with. Like, they'll give you fake choices, but those choices won't end up giving you different options. This game will. There's this quest that I ended up doing earlier on while I was playing the game where I had to medicate this dispute between two sisters that ended up going somewhere crazy, somewhere I was never expecting, and apparently has multiple different endings based on the dialogue choices that you take while talking to these people alone. And it's very interesting to see that they decided to code all these different aspects of the game just for people to possibly experience, because not everybody replays games, not everybody goes through different endings or does multiple reloads and resaves just to see what happens. A lot of people just look up that stuff online, which is what I did. But the people who do go back, there's a lot of replayability to this game. Not only in the fact that you get to decide what clan of vampire you belong to, you can join a litany of different clans from Clan Bruja, Gingriel, Malkavian, Nosferatu, Toreador, Tremere, or Ventru. I personally chose Toreador, and I had a lot of fun playing with the powers that's associated with that clan. Each clan has a different ability that's associated with them, and my ability was super speed. I was having a lot of fun being the Flash in that game. By the time I had maxed out that ability, I was just zooming. You could literally watch bullets fly by you. They were so slow, and you could dodge them like Matrix style. That shit was amazing. Another quest that really sold me onto this game was more of an atmospheric quest where you had to hunt down a ghost, or more specifically an item that belonged to a ghost to help exorcise the ghost. Now, once I got to the location, there's no map in this game. You kind of just have to find everything. You can be pointed towards the direction of things through dialogue and looking at actual like bus maps and stuff like that, but you don't have a dedicated map button that can show you exactly where to go, nor are there really waypoints of any kind. But once I got to that location, I had a lot of fun with the quest. I'm not gonna lie to you, audience, I was actually afraid a little bit. Not because I thought that ghosts were real or any of that nonsense. It's just the atmosphere that was created by this quest that really left me thinking, wow, like, my character could die at any point, even though I knew that was probably not likely. But I was fighting against an enemy that I couldn't hit, and I couldn't really brute force my way through. So they kept jumping out of nowhere, and a lot of jump scares that, unfortunately for me, were quite effective because I was not expecting it. I've never really been afraid in any quest that's in a video game that's meant to be scary. It's usually atmospherically not sound, unless we're talking about Until Dawn, which let's be honest, that shit gave me nightmares. But this quest alone, I was really on edge while playing it because I never knew what was around the corner. And while really putting together the pieces of the story, I was really invested in finding out what was going to happen next. Seemingly, the hotel that I was sent to acquire for a quest giver was haunted by a family, more specifically the husband and the wife, that had died tragically. Now, I think this was a reference to a movie that I've never seen. You know, the movie with the axe guy, it's a really popular movie. I'll put a clip right now, but I've never seen it because I'm not cultured enough. It turns out that the husband had killed his wife over some jealous bullshit and also taken the liberty of killing the kids as well. It was really fucked up. And by the end of it, I was more than happy to get the fuck out of that hotel. Between all the exploding lights, furniture moving by themselves, and ghosts just flying left and right, I was ready to get the fuck up out of there, let me tell you. And after playing that quest, I knew I was going to play the whole game because I was like, if any of the other quests in this game have half as much atmospheric intrigue as this quest, I'm going to have a lot of fun. And I was not wrong. I ended up having a lot of fun by the time I had finished the game, and I'm here to recommend it to everyone. I know it's an old game, and I know that some aspects of it have not aged well, but between patches that you can find online to, you know, mods and all of that, you can make the game really fun. And I'm gonna just come out and be honest with you, you're not gonna find a better vampire RPG out there. You're just not. It's just not gonna happen. Unless you resort to playing Skyrim, in which case, I mean, that's not dedicated to the vampire experience, so you can't really expect it to go fully in to that vampire society and all that, which it kind of did, but really not to the same degree as Vampire the Masquerade. Just like it just doesn't even come close to the level of detail that's taken into the exploration of the vampire condition. That stuff was really fun for me. It was a fun game to get at the end of the year, only a $20 game, and I ended up spending over like, what, 90 hours into this game. I sunk a lot of time into it. I'm the kind of person who does a lot of that. Like I'll try to find every nook and cranny, every corner, explore everything before I'm finished with the game, because usually, like I said, I don't replay games, so I try to get the most out of my first experience. I think this game I might return to in a couple of years, but definitely not after finishing my first, you know, playthrough. I'm good. I want to move on to something else. Unfortunately, the sequel is stuck in development hell, and instead we're getting this battle royale bullshit that nobody asked for. I'm sure there are people who are going to enjoy it, but will this prove to the studio that there are people interested in the IP? I don't think so, because most of the people who are interested in the IP are interested in the parts of the IP that had to do with the single story experience. I mean, I really only had to scroll down to the comment section just to see that this was true. In the trailer that they released in the Game Awards recently, people wanted to play as a vampire in a story-driven game. But I guess that the studio didn't really care about that, or at least whoever acquired the studio. But if you guys have played Vampire The Masquerade, what did you think about it? Did you want a sequel? What did you guys think about the new announcement with Battle Royale? And I'm not on here trying to say that I'm not excited for it because it's just a Battle Royale. I'm a big Apex fan. I play Apex all the time, but just playing that game and playing Vampire the Masquerade is two different experiences. I would just never think that the Masquerade Bloodlines would work as a battle royale. This just kind of feels like they saw what was popular right now, and honestly what was popular like 2-3 years ago. I wouldn't even say that battle royales are still popular. Like that stuff is very much in the past, and they're releasing a game that's very much after the curve. Like, who's gonna be playing this? Who's excited for this? When are we gonna get the sequel, man? I just want the sequel. Please, whoever's developing this game, please, man, we just want the sequel. A story-driven game. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Sound off. I want to have discussions about this game, as I'm the only person I know who's played it, so and I'm not too big on discussing things on Reddit. A lot of the discussions online are when this game was re-released, and that was quite a while ago now. So let me know what you guys think. Yeah, And what's your favorite class in the game if you've played it? What's your favorite vampire group to be a part of? I think Choryudo is always going to hold a special place in my heart, being the first clan that I've played with, but if I'm going for a next playthrough, I'm definitely going to play the clan that lets you use blood magic, which was not my clan, unfortunately. I got to be super fast, which was fun. Which was really fun because it kind of trivialized a lot of the bosses because they're just not as quick as you. And I would just like take my super speed potion and just like zooming around the battlefield like a fucking vampire Flash. I was just having so much fun. Granted, I'm a fan of the Flash, so that might have just been a personal thing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Subscribe for more and turn on the bell notification. It really helps the channel. We're trying to grow to 300 as soon as we can. So yeah, peace. I've been Off Track Seb.
Still awake? Something on your mind? Give me a call, 323-KL5-KTRK. Ask to speak to the cute one. Hey, all you night owls. Is the human race going crazy, or is it just me? Seems like all you hear is bad news lately. Anybody feel the same way? Feel like the world's cracking at the seams? Why don't we make that the topic for tonight? And if that doesn't work, you can all go back to calling in with the usual pervert stuff.
Dead of night?
That's me.
I recently found out I was a vampire.
Oh, I was one of those once, and then it was November 1st.
That's not a joke. I'm really worried about this.
Uh-huh.
This girl at the club took me into the bathroom and she did something to me.
Back in my club days, we used to call that a favor. Oh, caller, could you hold on? I've got Frankenstein on the line. Frankenstein, something you want to add to this conversation? I see. Your rebuttal, caller.
I'm not lying. It happened to me. It could happen to anyone. Fire!
Ooh, good point. You want some advice? Wash off the eyeliner, put on something that's not black, and go get a tan at the beach. Jeez, the Deb of Night show does not endorse the goth lifestyle, and take it from Deb, pretending you're a vampire only impresses people of similar physical ickiness.
I never knew what the world wanted from me. I don't know anymore. Now this feeling's coming on. Fuck. Masquerade Vampire Bloodlines, is that what it's called? I don't know. Wow. Masquerade the Vampire Bloodline. Is there a "the" in the title? I don't think there is. Let's look that up real quick.